Hey there guys, this is Obsidian Chill, got another video for you today. This is bringing you a video from test server of the brand new system Artifacts, and I'll be going into that with my concerns, questions, answers, everything like that. So let's kind of jump right into it. So it's a brand new system, basically Artifacts enhance, to put it in layman terms, Artifacts is a piece of gear or item that we're going to be able to get or farm. That's going to increase your stats, your base stats, as well as give a group buff. Similar to the elite list stats, but obviously a lot better. I already crafted all of the artifacts here. There's one for each role, so might DPS, precision DPS, tank, controller, healer. I'm going to craft the controller one here just to kind of show you the process for it. Now I won't get into my concerns right away. I'll kind of go through the process first so you guys can know before I kind of go off on it, on the good things, bad things. So basically, the fourth tab we used to have was this base item tab that you could scroll through and select all your base items and kind of preview them. They took that away and added this artifacts. That's what they took it in for. Now, right off the bat, the UI is amazing. Now, I should kind of backpedal a bit. To be able to access everything you're looking at right now, you have to run a mission first. You just go to your events tab. It'll say Oblivion Bar. You talk to John Constantine. He's going to take you to a few of the different old soul missions. You got to go through and kill some stuff. It takes like 15 minutes, and then basically it teaches you a little bit of the artifacts. You get an artifact. You get to choose one. I think it's RNG. So when I first got it, you can buy them too, obviously. If you go to John, if I deleted one, like say if I deleted this one here, so you guys can see. Each artifact will show up in this list for 100 marks of victory, so you don't have to worry about that. If you didn't get the one you wanted, you can just buy it for 100 marks. And the reason why the others don't show up in the list is because I already have them crafted. But yeah, the mission just kind of goes through what these process metals are, stuff like that. So once you do the mission, then basically the serious fun begins. So if you go to the artifacts tab, it kind of teaches you all this as well. So I'll kind of skip over that. You can't miss it. The UI and how they taught people what to do is very, very good. You can't miss it. But I kind of skipped over that mission because there's no point. Each one of you are going to have to play it anyway, and I'm not going to upload a 15-minute video. I'm sure you can find it somewhere of just doing a mission. So basically, we start at rank 0 next to rank 1. Milestone is going to be the rank 20 milestone. This is going to be when you actually get those stats where you see the increased health, the increased fit, 1%, basically. And then you need 100 item XP to your next rank. Now, you'll see all these things on the side. This is all this metal stuff you get from drops. You'll be able to drop it from the stabilizer event. You can get it from the vault tickets, stuff like that. And obviously, there's going to be white, green, blue, and purple. And then, obviously, depending on which one you've got, level 1, 2, or 3, you can see 10 experience, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000. So that is basic self-explanatory. That there's some metals that are better than others and give more XP. And then you just kind of move them over here, and you can see the XP bar will rank up towards your milestone. So even if I didn't have this, I could still fortify it, and I get those plus 32 health. So you don't have to wait till your milestone 20. You can keep fortifying your XP as you go. So I just did that. Boom. So it got me to rank almost to 11, where I'm going to gain an extra 3 health, but it moved up the milestone. So you don't have to wait till your max XP to be able to move up. You can just, as you go, to be able to get the stats. So we'll jump right here. Now we go to milestone 20, and this is where you're going to need a catalyst. I already have these catalysts, but basically these are what you're going to need to do. It's a lot of farming. I'm not sure if it's going to be really long to get, or if it's going to be the farm is going to be quicker, because I haven't run much of the open world stuff. But I'll show you here. So you need a catalyst to once you reach the milestone ranks. There's going to be 20, I think 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. And then 100 is the max level so far, or 100 milestone. You need all these catalysts to be able to turn them in. So you need 2 catalysts, and where do you get them? You saw there, but basically these are all the types of catalysts you can get. This one only drops in the Gates of Tartarus. This one only drops on Blackest Day. It's the Aramon Conversion Chamber. I think that was the Alert, or is that the Duo? Can't remember. Brainiac Subcontract, the old T2 raid, Spark of Ion Duo, Triangle's Prison Alert, Area 51 alerts, Shadowlands, League of Assassin Stronghold, Artifacts of the Past. That's going to be knowing that's the raid. Phantom Zone, the first piece. That's a solo, I believe. But yeah, so you be able to need all these catalysts, not just for the controller one. That some of these are for the healer ones, some of those for the DPS ones. So you don't necessarily need those right at bat. And you apparently you can trade these as well. I think it was 7 live stream you can trade them, but that's where you're gonna need to get these to farm, depending on what artifact you're going for, obviously. So I already have this catalyst here. I don't have to worry about that. Seals of Preservation. You can also get these in the game. I'm not entirely sure where you get them from. They're purple, so they're going to be a rare drop. Most likely, I'm guessing these are going to be on the marketplace soon enough. But all it does is, you see the success rate says 100%. So I don't technically need this, but you'll see as the ranks go higher, the success chance goes lower. And so you have a chance to fail. And if you fail, you lose these I would lose those 2 catalysts. So then you're screwed. You have to go farm Area 51 for more. But if you use a seal preservation, you're guaranteed not to lose those seals. So it's pointless to use it now. I'll show you when you actually want to use it. So I ranked up to 20, broken through. It'll say milestone success. Like, the UI is amazing here. And then I see that my next rank, 40, I need Brainiac Subconstruct and 2 ones from League of Assassins Stronghold. So maybe you do need all the cows for them. I did pay attention when I farmed it before. But yeah, success rate 95%. You still have a good chance to do this, so I'm going to break through again. There we go, milestone success. Now I need more XP, and I'm going to need Shadowlands, Trigon Prison. Yeah, so it looks like you actually need all the catalysts for each one. I was incorrect when I said that. Yeah, but we'll go back to this one. Let's rank 44, and we'll put some more metals in. Fortify again. So now we're at milestone 60, 90%. I need 1, 2, and 3. Breakthrough again. Okay, I was successful. Now I need a bit more XP to reach rank 80, and I'm getting, some health, some prex and bit. We'll go into that later. And now I need 4 from Ion, 3 from Xamarin Conversion Chamber, and 2 from Artifacts of the Past. Put some more metal in, fortify it. So now you see my chance now is 80%. So this is probably, like, obviously, it depends on your luck, honestly, but it can't be that bad at 80. But if you're worried about it, you could use a seal. And we were successful. So now rank 100. This is going to be the highest rank that you can get so far. I'm sure they're going to increase it in the future. But you can see how my success chance is 60%. Now I could, well, let's see if I'll fail. But this is where you technically be using a seal because it's 60%, not 190. So we'll see if I can break through. And I was successful. It'll say milestone failed, and I would lose those catalysts if it's screwed up. It just depends. The reason why this is 95 is because I got 100 of them, and the farming these 5 ones lost me 5 seals, so it looks like the success rate is still pretty good. So now we got maxed artifacts. This is the control roll. Each one of them has their own type of special stat, and I'll go into that now before I start yelling at people. Oh, I should mention that as well. Damn. I forgot to show you the XP thing at the bottom. Let's just quickly do that again then. Yeah, I should probably show that. Do I have any? Okay. Pardon the interruption. But I was going to show one thing that I didn't know if they said in the live stream, but I noticed it while I was farming. I need another one of these. Okay. So I forgot to mention, you can also break down other artifacts that you have to help XP and level up. So what it looked like was, this is the tank one. It's 88,605 XP, but this is the might DPS one, 201,010 XP. So it looks like it's almost, more than double the amount of XP it takes to get the precision one, and the tank one is the might one. So it takes way more XP to earn the might one than it does some of these other ones. And I'm sure they just did that because most people are going to go in for the might one. That would be my guess. But we'll quickly make this artifact again. Maybe I'll fail on one of the breakthroughs and you'll be able to see what that UI looks like. Yeah, see right there, red, milestone failure. I failed on 90%. So that's what it looks like there. So I would have lost 3 of those, 2 of those, and 1 of those unless I used a seal for preservation. So that would be kind of a drag if you lost it on 90%. I could see people being upset with that. But oh, look, I failed again on 90. Okay. So yeah, but by look at this, you do want to get some of these seals. So even if they do cost some marketplace money, you might want to pick up a pack. Oh, I failed again on 60. That probably makes sense. So that's 3 failures so far in this one. There we go. Okay. Now before I go into yelling about the stuff, I'll go show you the feats, because there's a whole whack of feats associated with this. So general feats under artifacts, collect a flawless material. I think that was that purple rare one. Equip an artifact, fortified to rank, that's the first rank. Collects the following types. So that's going to be collecting like a white, a blue, a green, and a purple. Same thing, I'm guessing. Oh, it's probably those like level 1 or level 2, level 3s, whatever. But yeah, it's going to be all level 3 types, the 2 types. 100 pieces, 200 pieces, fortify a rank to 40, 60, 80, and 100. So that's skill points just for getting 1 artifact. And then 300 pieces, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000. So that's the new farm. And if you add up all those skill points, it's 7.05 skill points. So 7 skill points just from this artifact system. So by the time it takes... See, the odd thing it was, I bought enough of those artifacts to make 5 artifacts, like the 5 types. And that did not bring me to 10,000. That brought me closer to like 2,000. And I had to keep buying those boxes to get the other 8,000. So it looks like grinding 10,000 pieces of material is not a simple task. And that's probably going to be back the 25,000 gather feat. Except that you can't just click a node. You have to kill NPCs. That's what it was. So these materials, they drop from basically killing open world stuff. So if you kill, what's that mission from Striker's Island where you kill those open world bounties? If you kill one of them, I'm sure you have a much higher chance to get one of these purified ones. And if you're killing just like trash mobs, you're going to get one of these like low level raw ones or a processed green one or whatever. Okay, so let's go into the concerns of it. So I'll give kind of a brief overview of what it was. So basically, the controller one gives health, precision, vit. Using a group power heal grants you and up to 7 group members health equal to 12% of your vit. The heal one gives health equal to 7.5% of your resto, and it gives you health, prec, resto. The tank one, each time you use a pull, you get health equal to 11.5% of your dominance, and it gives you health, precision, and dominance. This is the precision DPS, health, prec, and health, prec, dom. Hitting a cross combo attack. Now, cross weapon combo, I'm assuming that means weapon mastery, because that's the only cross weapon combo. So every time you use a weapon mastery, you get precision equal to 0.75% of your health, and the effect is doubled in damage roll. So my concern is you have to use a weapon mastery for that one, and then I get it. Basically, the buff lasts for 12 seconds. I'm not sure if it says that. I wonder if I could put the mic on and show it. It doesn't. It might just because I'm not in a group. We're into new grounds here. Actually, I haven't tested this because I'm doing this as a live commentary. So it would appear that it does not give any indication of the buff of your soul. Okay, I'm not sure about that. Let's actually try the controller one. No. You know what, I wonder, let's actually see, I wonder if I have to actually hit a target. Attack to proc it. No. Oh, the artifact wasn't even on. That was a fail. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I just had to be either near a target or actually equip the artifact and not being like a dumbass like me. Yeah, so you see Entwined Rings of Azar, so 806 health the group gets for 30 seconds. Seems like a lot. Let's try the DPS one. Maybe it's just the DPS ones are 12 seconds, I thought. Oh, what? Oh, it's because I'm not saving to my armory. That's my fault. That's why. Where'd the DPS one go? So I'm finished looking like a retard. Yeah. 751 group. Yeah. So the health buff from the support rolls lasts for 30 seconds, and the DPS buff lasts for 12 seconds. So I get 751 might to the group for 12 seconds with that artifact on. And basically that leads me into my concerns. I'm not going to go into the farming or how much this is going to cost to farm or the stuff they're going to add to the marketplace to make this like pay to win. I'm not going to talk about any of that. I'm talking about just the base stats. Now I'm going to exclude the DPS ones at the moment because that's what all this favors towards. So I'm going to go back to the controller one, which is this one. So as a controller, it's going to give me health, precision, and vit as base stats. So basically, as a controller, you're going to spend all this time and effort farming all those old events and all those, the stabilizers event and the vault daily to get all these materials, running all that old content or buying them from the broker. You're going to spend all your time to farm these artifacts to get some extra health, prec, and vit. That's useless. Like, the vit alone. Like, we'll put the vit aside for now. Why would you need health and precision as a controller? The controller gear set already has the lowest amount of base health out of any of the other power sets, gear sets. You're not going to be taking damage as a controller. Why? Because yeah, you can run shields. Besides the tank, you've got aggro drops, you've got shields, you've got a group supercharged shield. As gadgets, I run 3 shields. I got distract, new neutralizer, which is the reduced cooldown from the back. So literally, I can pop new neutralizer anytime I want. And then I've got the battle drone for that shield. So I've got 3 shields as a controller. I don't need extra health. I'm not going to be taking damage because I'm not going to be in the risk of taking splash damage or targeted by ads. That's going to be the tank or the DPS. I'm not going to generate enough threat to have ads attack me as a controller. In some situations you will, depending on the passive pod or your debuffs or whatever, but it's still, I don't need extra health as a controller. I certainly don't need prec. Yeah, I'm using hand blaster combos. Who cares? I don't need an extra 84 prec to help me do my role. What I do need? I need power. The DPS one gives power. You get extra 504 extra power. I want that as a controller. I don't want friggin' Prek. So why give power to a Might DPS one, but you're not giving any power to any other role? The healers don't get power, the precision DPS don't get power, the controllers don't get power, but the DPS do. And then, so that's just ridiculous on itself. If I'm going to spend this time farming for this artifact, I want the stats to matter to me, to my role. And if you're a healer, it's just as bad. What does a healer need Prek for? This one. Yeah, why does a healer need, you don't even need much health. The healer already has the highest health, but I can see arguing you want the extra health, that's fine. But what do you need the Prek for? Your heals are based off Resto and Dom, so why not give Dom to the controllers and the healers? You don't need Prek, you need Dom for your role. And now let's look at the actual buff here. So we're using a group power heal, gains you and 7 members health equal to your VIT. So basically they're encouraging controllers to stack VIT, which is what we don't want to do. Just as I've said in my previous videos, you do not want to spec pure VIT. Speccing pure VIT is wrong. I don't care what you say or who you are or what you say your experience is, you are wrong. You can go VIT power. I go full power on live just because I want to do a full power build, because I have enough skill points that I can spec into VIT that it's not going to affect me that much. But if you want to maximize your efficiency as a controller, it is VIT power in the mods. And speccing full power, that's just a preference of mine, but you do not spec full VIT. Speccing full VIT will basically nerf your regen on so many levels, and you see all those controllers out there struggling to heal. They can't even keep their, like if you're a controller, if you're not keeping your supercharged generator on cooldown, if you have to wait for your power or have to take a soda, then you're doing the role wrong. Your supercharged generator should always be on cooldown. I've got the chance to also clipping an attack debuff. So recharge is always on cooldown. I've always got the debuff up, and I've always got the supercharged generator on. If you can't sustain that as a controller, you're not doing your role correctly. You don't necessarily need 2 debuffs, but say if your munitions, your supercharged generator is an attack debuff, so you have to run the defense debuff. If you're solo troll, you need to run those 2 debuffs. So you're wasting more power clipping those because it's a useless debuff. So at least Gadgets is a defense debuff, and it's only 100 power cost. You've got moves, where is... Did I scroll by it and just miss it? Now that I'm... Yeah, Stasis Field. Yeah, it's a 200 power cost. There's ones that are 100 power cost, so you can't have a full VIP spec and keep those on cooldown, because you're not going to have the power pool to do it sufficiently. It's been already proven mathematically. You can look at Kuro's 5-hour troll guide, and it'll tell you just as much as I did when I summed up. You do not want a full VIP build. So now, and even the problem is, I don't blame necessary players, because if you're a new player looking at this, it says VIT is recommended for controller. It says might and power recommended for damage. It wants you to take Dom as a controller. So even a stat that the game recommends you to take, it doesn't give you that stat on the artifact either, which is just crazy. But this artifact encourages a full VIT spec, because you get more health. So if the more VIT you spec, the more health you give to the group. That would seem to make sense. But that's the wrong playstyle you should have, because you're actually hurting yourself by running that extra VIT. So it's just, I don't have an issue with the artifact system in general. It's amazing. Like, it's a nice add-on to the game. It's probably going to be quite farmy if I'm guessing, with all these materials and having to run old content. But at least it forces you to run some old content that I'm sure some of these players have never run this stuff because they skipped over it. So that system I don't have an issue with. It's a lot of inventory space. I just noticed that. Because you got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that's 12 just for the catalyst. And then there's what, 2 of each, so it's going to be 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 inventory slots. for just the materials. So it's 21 inventory slots. So that's 3 rows just for the materials, and then you've got the 5 artifacts. So obviously I'm not expecting each player to have 5 artifacts, but I'm sure at some point you're going to have stacks of these, just like those previous episodes where we had those crafting materials that we broke down. I forget what they were called. Those sports or whatever, the spornasiums, whatever. They named it out for the devs each time. But yeah, those took up inventory space a lot as well. But now, the future going forward, we've got 3 rows of your inventory space dedicated to artifact materials. Or bank space, depending if you don't want to carry them on your main tune. But yeah, it's my issue right now is that. So let me sum it up another way. So the controller artifact, group power heal, or basically group health. The so those inside the tank one, group health. So that's at least it's somewhat helpful for a tank to get extra health. The healer one, group health. So basically, and then if you look at the damage ones, your might is based off your health. So basically, hitting an enemy with a superpower grants you up 7 moves might equal to 1.2% of your health. So the controller buffs your health, the healer buffs your health, the tank one buffs your health, and the DPS one buffs your might based on your health. Is anyone kind of catching on to that now? All the support roles in the entire game are basically being used to buff a might DPS or a precision DPS. So basically, we're just slaves to the DPS now. It doesn't matter about any of our roles. It doesn't matter if we want to be a better tank, if we want to be a better controller, a better healer. No, screw us. Our job is to only make it easier for the DPS, because that's all this is doing. We're stacking our health we're spending all our time to farm artifacts to buff the DPS. What? I'm not following that. I want to be a better controller. If I want to spend all this time, the same amount of time it takes me to farm an OP item, which makes me a better controller because I've got better stats, I'm going to spend all this time farming an artifact that makes the DPS better, but not me. It gives me 2% extra vit. Oh, okay. It gives me 1% prec and 3% health. I don't care about the health. I don't care about the prec. I want power, vit, and dom. And I want a bonus that's useful to me. I want it to maybe increase my supercharge duration, buff my power, give me an extra shield. It could basically reduce the cooldowns of my powers. It could reduce the cooldowns of the DPS or another power set like a healer. It could give basically, I want the artifact to help me better my role. I want it to be helpful to a controller. I want to be a better controller with this, spending all this time making a high-powered artifact. And I'm sure the healers want to as well. If you're a healer, you want this artifact to do well for you. You want it to, buff your resto or give you an extra shield, maybe an extra hot or an extra pot tick, something like that, or restore all your power, something along the lines to help you. But right now, the controller and the healer ones only help the DPS. It helps nothing for you, only the DPS. The tank one, at least it gives you some extra health, whatever, and we're giving some extra health to the tank, I guess, as a controller and healer as well. An extra, was it 800 health or so, or maybe 1,000 health, which doesn't really matter much in the long run, but at least they're getting some side effect help. But as a controller and healer right now, these artifacts do jack shit to help your role. And that's where the issue with this system is. It needs to be, like, even if you look at the elite stats, the mod bonuses helped your role. Yes, they were very crappy and outdated, but at least they helped your role. If I had 6 elite pieces, it gave me an extra debuff crit percentage if I used the more debuff I used. And if I had 8 ones, it gave an auto pot, which is pointless now, but in the past it was semi-okay. But those are, you're farming elite gear to better your role. Now we're farming an artifact to better the DPS. And that's kind of my lost in translation with this. So that's my rambling done. This is still in the infancy on test. It just kind of recently came out in the live stream, so hopefully we might be able to affect some change. But right now, all this system is doing is helping the DPS only, and that's it. Take care, guys.